I figured I would come on here and just explain what I've been going through since I've gotten a ton of questions and stuff. Starting from day one, which would have been last Thursday. I had a dry cough all day long, but it was just like a couple of times here and there. It wasn't a whole bunch of coughing. It wasn't like back-to-back coughing or anything like that. And then the very next day, Friday, I went into work and I felt just really exhausted and weak, and just basically that was it. I just felt really tired and weak, and like I just didn't want to be there. Like I just felt uncomfortable and stuff. And so I ended up going home early, and I took my temperature around 12:30 and I did not have a fever. And then by close to 2:30, I was running 100.9. And so I called the doctor, and my symptoms were chills, chest and my head was really hot, but my whole body was freezing cold. I could not get warm enough. I actually sat in the tub and I had like steaming hot water, and it still wasn't enough. I was freezing. I was still really weak and stuff, and my eyes would hurt really bad just to look sideways. Or I couldn't even look at light. Like if the living room light was on, like I was like squinting because it hurt so bad. My head was hurting really bad. I had a really bad headache, and my stomach also was cramping a lot, and I was dizzy. So those were my first like symptoms and stuff. And then by 5:13 I was running 101.3, and that's whenever I knew that obviously I was coming down with something, but I didn't know it was this. But I wanted to get tested just in case. And I called the doctor, and they told me to come in the next morning, which would have been Saturday, and get tested. So they told me to go ahead and take Tylenol, and so I did. I took Tylenol, and by 3 in the morning it went down to 99.8. And then I took it again in the morning before I went to the doctor at 6:30, and it was back up to 100.6. And so went into the doctor, and they gave me a flu test first just to make sure I didn't have that, and it was negative. And right after they found out it was negative, they did the test for the COVID-19, and they stick a swab up each nostril, back in the very back, like they show you in the picture, and it burns. But I mean, it burned, but it wasn't like devastating. And then they swabbed my throat, and then they told me it'd be anywhere from 2 to 5 days. And so I waited for them to call me back with that, and then they called yesterday, which was, I don't even know what today is. Today's Wednesday, I think. So they called me yesterday, which was Tuesday. So tested Saturday, found out yesterday, which was Tuesday, that it was positive. And they basically just told me quarantine myself for 2 weeks, and if I get worse, to call them. And they said that this can also relapse. So just for you guys out there, just because you're feeling better, it can still relapse. So you still gotta be safe about it. But really only like 2-3 days out of this whole time I was in a whole lot of pain. And today I'm actually coughing more than I was in the beginning. So I don't know if that's just everything coming up or what, but just congested now. No fever. I actually took my temperature earlier, and it was 97. Besides coughing a lot today, that's pretty much all that I have left over right now. My body aches have went away, and my head doesn't really hurt that bad, but anytime I start to feel that way, I can just take Tylenol and it takes it away. But I appreciate everyone's prayers. I know they've been helping. Thank you.